All right, so listen, we're going to get things started. It's very informal how we're doing things today. First of all, just going to say thank you to the guys from the Penthouse here at the 5 Palm Jumeirah for giving us this beautiful venue to host the event. To the manager, to everybody here has made us feel very welcome. Thank you very much. I really want to send a big thank you going out to Khalid as well, who's really helped to put it on. There's him standing out the back there. Give him a clap. Khalid is a massive, massive Arsenal fan. He was at the North London derby with me. I can tell you, when that 4-2 victory we had there, he came for one of the best games ever. So how I'm going to kind of do the evening is I'll just briefly just tell you about how we got started. I'm going to introduce you to these two guys who I'm sure you'll know, right? Who are regulars on AFTV. And then what we're going to do is then we're going to throw open the floor. We're going to do a Q&A. You can ask anything. Yeah? Unlike the players, right? We will answer anything. I'm not
telling you my real name, though.
If you want to discuss, do also have a chance of getting into the top 4. What's the new manager been like? What was it like the last few years? Any question you want to ask after that, anything at all you want to ask after that, you can ask and we'll answer that. And basically that's how we're going to do it. So if I just start off by just briefly just saying Arsenal Fan TV, or AFTV as we're now called, started off 2012. When I first started it, the reason for starting it was I said to, as a fan that's been following Arsenal for over 35 years and going to games home and away on a regular basis, I was like, I'd hear pundits talking a lot about the performance of Arsenal, and a lot of times I used to say to myself, that's not what the fans were saying. That's not what I heard guys down the pub saying after the game. That's not what I heard guys, having something to eat after the game or coming out of the game saying. They were saying something a lot different to that. And you never used to hear from the real fans, you guys. You never heard from them. You'd hear from, a lot of times, ex-players, and I respect all the ex-players, but sometimes not all ex-players are even fans. They worked for Arsenal, that was their job. They finished playing for Arsenal, and you'd hear a lot of them sometimes saying things like, yeah, Arsenal are playing well. I haven't been able to get down there much recently, but... And I'm thinking, but there's fans who go week in, week out, invest their time, their emotions, everything in Arsenal. And we never, ever hear them say anything about the performances. So basically, that's why I said to myself, right, I'm going to start this thing up and give every fan a chance to have their say. I even felt that there was a lot of platforms, and there's a lot of fantastic platforms around Arsenal. I even felt with some of them that they were a bit cliquey in that they'd have their people and they spoke about Arsenal, but again, it was just them. So I was like, I want to do something where, set it up where any fan of Arsenal, I don't care what you look like, what colour you are, what race you are, religion, there's only one religion when we're following our club, and that's Arsenal, right? So if you want to have your say about the club, you can have it. So I remember we pitched up the first game. We played Tottenham. I remember that. We beat them, right? As usual. And that was the first game we did. And I remember trying to interview fans after the game. And you go up to some fans and you say, yeah, Arsenal Fan TV, do you want to have a talk about the game? And they'd be like, can I swear here? They'd be like, who the F are you? Nah, go away. Don't want to talk to you. Like, who are you? Who are you? But I sort of worked it out, and I said to myself, law of averages, there's 60,000 fans there. Must be able to get at least 10 to say something. So we did. We got people talking. I think they saw when the videos came out, they saw the standard of it. It was good. And then as time went on and on and on, we started to get more and more and more fans talking. We were originally mainly just a YouTube platform. We started to grow. I remember we got to about, we were nearing in on about 10,000 subscribers, and there was a guy who worked at YouTube. It was quite high up there. And I was chatting to him one day. He was an Arsenal fan. And he's going, yeah, Robbie, I really like what you guys are doing. It's good. However, I don't think you get more than about 10,000, 15,000 subscribers. And I said to him, you sure? You reckon? No more than that? He goes, nah, man. He goes, you don't have the rights to football. On YouTube, you need the rights and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, but I don't need the rights. I go, we're dealing with fans. He's going, yeah, but I don't think that's really going to, a few Arsenal fans will watch it, but then we just blew up. And the numbers just went crazy. I saw that same guy from YouTube. We did a party when we reached 500,000 subscribers. And I remember he came over to me, he said, Robbie, anything I tell you, don't listen. I don't know nothing, right? He goes, you guys are doing a brilliant job. And it's just grown and grown and grown. And, we go to every single Arsenal game, home and away. We're not financed by the club. We finance it ourselves. When I first started doing AFTV, for about the first 3.5 years, every single penny that I earned, I was working as a surveyor, every single penny that I earned extra went into AFTV for tickets, for travel, for flights, for petrol. And a lot of times I'd go to games, I was so broke. I'm going to tell you the truth here. I was so broke here, I'd have to bring sandwiches.
When was that?
I'd have to bring... See, these guys don't know the hardship. They've come in later on. They ain't had to go for their grafting, right? But no, this is the truth here. I'd get to games, right, and I'd be so short of money that I'd have to park, because if you go to a football game in England, sometimes the parking. You go to somewhere like Brighton, it's like £15 to park your car. And I'd be like, you know what? I've hardly got any money. I'm like, boy, I need some money for food and that. We'd have to bring sandwiches sometimes. We'd have to park the car far, far, far away and walk in. So it's been a hard graft. It was a hard graft. Over the last couple of years, it's really, really, picked up. It's been brilliant, but it's been a hard graft. It's been a hard walk, and we're not financed by the club. And to this day, we are not. I don't get nothing from the club, no tickets, no nothing. It's funny, right in here last night, we was chatting to Alexander Lacazette over there.
Like a blood clot, sir.
Yeah. Had a great conversation with him, was talking to him for about 45 minutes. Brilliant guy, really, really good. I can tell you some of the things he was sort of talking about, some of it, right, later on. But he said to me, he goes, don't the club help you guys? You guys are here in Dubai. Did the club help you guys to come out? I said, no. So we do it all ourselves. He said, but you're at every game. You're everywhere. I said, yeah, we're fans. And we come here to follow the club at every single game. So it's all done by us. And as I said, it's grown and grown and grown. It's grown now. We're nearly closing on 1 million subscribers on YouTube. We've got a massive Instagram platform closing on 600,000. We, just all of our Facebook's over 600,000. It's all because of you guys and the support that you've given to AFTV over the years. And we really, really appreciate it. And one of the things that I've been really proud of with AFTV is I think that we've helped to show fans in England what you guys abroad are like when it comes to supporting Arsenal. I think when I first started doing AFTV, there was a kind of a misconception amongst fans in England that, those fans from abroad, they're just tourists. They're going to come, they take our seat at the game, they've caused the ticket prices to go up. I mean, you guys will get blamed for everything, right? But what we've been able to do with, one of the great things of AFTV, we've travelled around the world with Arsenal, to China, Australia, America, all over the place, right? And every time we go places, we're showing fans that are abroad. Like when we was in Australia, and we're speaking to fans over there, and they talk about the times they have to wake up to watch a game. I mean, ridiculous times. You guys, ridiculous hours. Like I said, today's a working day. If there's lots of games are played on a Sunday, it must be so difficult for you guys to watch some of those games. And we've been able to highlight that, and a lot of the fans in England have been like, wow, they're real. And then when we speak to guys abroad, the knowledge of the fans abroad as well, the fans in England are like, wow, their knowledge, man. I get that all the time. And I think now there's a proper appreciation of fans living abroad. And everybody's now learning the fact that we're all just the same. The only difference with us in England is that we're lucky enough to live near to the ground or to not too far away where we can, if we can get a ticket, that is, right, get along to the game. That's the only advice. But you guys are just as passionate as the fans in England. We're all passionate Arsenal fans, and we all want what's best for the club. Now, along the way, in doing AFTV, right, I've met some fans, right? Now, I've got two of them next to me. Now, I've met some fans that can be very controversial because, as I said, the thing about us is that we allow people to have their opinion. And it's not, you know... listen, a lot of times I'm interviewing fans, and I don't always agree with what they say. But for me, it's not about me. My job is just to give a fan his chance to have his opinion, and I will question their opinion sometimes. I suppose you could say I do play a bit of devil's advocate sometimes, right? But it's my job to question fans, but we allow fans to have their opinions. Now, along the way, I've met a lot of fans. I've met these two guys that are next to me. I didn't know them at all until I was doing AFTV, and they've grown to become regulars on the channel and really, really popular. We got DT. I can't remember, DT, your first interview on AFTV. Remind me of that.
Leicester away. Yaya Sonogo was playing up front.
You were bigging him up, right?
No, I was not bigging him up. I was furious. I remember I walked out the stadium. We drew 1-1. Olivier Giroud had just broke his ankle the game before. Yeah. There was about a day before the transfer window was shut, and as usual, we hadn't signed anyone. So I came out, I saw you standing there with a microphone saying, anyone want to say anything? And I was like, yeah, I want to say something. I did, and the rest is history.
What was it like, the first, sort of, after doing your first video on AFTV, what was it like? Did you just sort of go home and then see the reaction and think, oh, bloody hell, quite a lot of people have watched that? Yeah,
the reaction was actually quite good. It's probably the best reaction I've ever had because everyone hates me now. But no, it's still, even at that point, it hadn't escalated to where it is now. It was just, oh, you know what? I get to go on, express my opinions. It's different to talk shows and radio shows and everything where you go on for about 30 seconds. They keep you held online for about 15 minutes just so they can take your money off the phone call. And then as soon as you want to say something, they fade you out. Bye-bye. Next. But here, we got the chance to say what we wanted to say. And as long as we didn't cross a line and was personal, we could say whatever we wanted. And I've never seen that kind of platform before. And it just escalated and escalated and escalated. And then, obviously...
This guy, when I was over in China, this guy who's a broadcaster over there said to me that he thinks DT's the most famous football fan in the world. Because the amount... And I think he's probably right, because the amount of people that watch videos that you're in, I would say you probably are. You're probably the most... Probably most hated as well, but most... but definitely...
Controversial.
Definitely. Most controversial, yeah, that's a better word.
That's the word. They're playing devil's advocate again, aren't you?
And I remember the first time... I do remember the first time I met Troopz now, right? So I can't remember the exact game.
Watford home 2-1 FA Cup defeat.
Right, yeah, right. And I remember so what we do after the game, we'll film fans. And as I said, like when we first started, it just used to be, you know, I literally had to be running around the ground trying to get people. But now it's absolutely crazy. I mean, after a game, we can have like 200-300 people queuing up to want to have their say. And obviously we can't interview everybody because we need to get the videos done as quickly as possible so we can upload them and get them out as quickly as possible so that everybody can see them. And I remember we were packing up and Troopz comes over to me and we're packing up now and he goes, yeah, can I have my say? And I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, yeah, bruv, we're packing up, can't you see? We're finished. And he's going, yeah, but I wanted to say something. I said, listen, we're packing up. You know, we've been ready filming for about an hour after the game. We need to get the videos up. And he said, oh, I really wanted to say something. So I looked at him, I was like, oh, this guy'll start crying in a minute, you know what I mean? No, but he looked disappointed, so I thought, you know what? So I said to Tao, the camera, I said, you know what, Tao, turn it all back on. We'll just do this one more guy. Bloody hell, yeah? I mean, he wants to talk. We'll get him on. And then he came on, and he was a very, very passionate. I think he had a bit of a rant that day, but he's very, very passionate. And again, after that, I just got so many people messaging me saying, oh, that guy's passionate, man. You should interview him again. And do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember still. We was outside the normal spot where we used to film by the museum.
Yeah.
And then the little kerfuffle happened. We moved, and then you lot were doing your thing. And I remember saying to you, like, yo, man wants to talk, fam. You're looking at me like, is this you mad? I'm like, nah, blood, I need to talk. I need to say this thing, fam, because the Thursday, we played Hull, innit? And we were beaten 4-0. And DT backed out the banner, the Wenger out banner. And at that point, I thought I was the only man who wanted Wenger out. You understand? I thought I was just on my own. It was just me. And then when I saw someone that's got my opinion, I thought, raw, he got bare heat off it. You understand? Even Wrighty went for him. You get me? And I felt that, like, I never knew him as well, but I felt that I agreed with him, innit? So I thought that I'm going to back him. You understand? Because what he did was right. And he had the balls to do it as well, blood. You understand? Because enough men are out there, like, saying, oh, yeah, Wenger out at the time. But they weren't really doing nothing. You understand? They were just tweeting. He actually did something. You get me? So I agreed with him. I came on, said my thing. I literally went home. When I've got home, I've walked in my yard. My mum's there. I went to my mum's. And then she's like, you're everywhere. I said, what do you mean I'm everywhere? She's like, people are sending me clips of you. She's like, what have you done? I said, I ain't done nothing. Like I said, I just done some Arsenal Fan TV interview. Cause I used to always watch you lot. Yeah. You understand? But because of the way I talk and my environment, I never thought that, you understand, this thing could, like, people would take me seriously. Because they don't understand, like, where man come from, innit? You understand? So they don't get the whole blood, fam. You understand? They don't get it. You only get it if you're around it.
Do you get it at the moment? You lot understand him? Because he does speak with a very strong London slang. But again, as I said, that's the point of what we do. The point of it is, I don't care where you're from, who you are, you should be able to have a chance to have your say. And he had his say, and you know, this guy, you know, these two guys are so popular now on the channel. The players know them. The players know these guys. As I said, when we come in here last night, if you saw the greeting that Lacazette gave to him last night, Lacazette said to him last night, he goes, all the kids now, when they see me, they just say, like a blood clot, Zet. Right? When we was in Singapore, right, it was one of the brilliant video where we stood up and the players are coming down, walking down the touchline, and Aubameyang is walking up and sees Troopz and he goes, I'm a blood clot, yeah. My brother, I'll tell you, that was brilliant. So the players have really connected with some of these guys. As I said, though, it can be very controversial. So that's just a bit of a history of what we are and what we've been doing.